Hey everyone, my name is Ashley. I'm a body and soul coach. I help people with all the overwhelm and stress and health and all the good stuff and just get life back to actually being fun again. Let's have fun. I wanted to talk about life lessons real quick here. They are not meant to be a life sentence. What I mean by that is there's certain lessons that we take, we're like, okay, that sucked, I didn't like that, and we learn it and we move on. But then there's other ones that we've been through, for example, trauma, where we may figure out we were the abuser in a previous relationship, or we may figure out we were the narcissist, or we may figure out that even in a situation, let's say with military, where they had to kill somebody in of a different age than they would have ever imagined. There's a lot of different things that we go through that are different lessons that definitely don't feel good. But how we work past that? How do we leave it as a lesson and not a life trauma that poisons the rest of our ability to freaking live? You start processing the emotions. You take the time to this is the what I learned, a technique I learned is write out all of the emotions that you're feeling during a situation. Like if you're having a panic attack, anxiety attack, whatever the situation is, you write out all the emotions dealing with that situation or in that moment, and then dive into each of those. Now, this obviously isn't a fast process, and it can start to trigger things. It can start to hurt, and that's okay. Hurt is okay. There is nothing wrong with hurt, okay? You write it all out, you dive into each emotion, decide what is and is not your responsibility in that situation that you went through. Okay? Forgive yourself. This is not supposed to be a life sentence. Forgive yourself for your part. It could be something like what I had to do. I had to forgive myself for not knowing to use my heart instead of my brain. I had to forgive myself for not having boundaries that were healthy to keep my heart okay. Sometimes what we need to forgive ourselves on is a lack of knowing, a lack of awareness at a particular point in life. It's not our fault we didn't know it. We just hadn't developed to that point, and that's okay. But in our adult self, we need to forgive ourselves for what we did or did not do. Sometimes some people are just jerks in their 20s, for example. Some people, maybe were very reactive or narcissistic or angry. Maybe that way is you. Maybe you were just a terrible person in a previous relationship, and you just have to forgive yourself for just being triggered and not knowing what your triggers were at that point, and that maybe you hurt somebody else. It's okay. You don't need to hold yourself down and you're just a miserable person for the rest of your life. You just process the emotion, write out what's your responsibility to it, and forgive yourself. This is life. It's all lessons. We don't need to hold ourselves prisoner. I can't tell you how many times people are just like, oh, but I did this. I get it, because it hurts and it sucks and you feel like an asshole, right? You feel awful or you feel manipulated. But the healing comes when you can forgive yourself for your part and let it go. That's where transformation happens. I promise. You guys know, for those that have known me for long enough, I've been through plenty of traumas in my life in various different ways and aspects and things. And I can tell you, this is one of the strongest healing tools I have found through anxiety, PTSD, depression, sudden death, losses, just a lot of different things. This tool is incredibly helpful. So again, just to line item, write out all the emotions. So if you're having like an anxiety attack, panic attack, or just a moment of whatever, write out every single emotion you feel. Be as thorough as you can be. Okay. Why do you feel that emotion? Dive into that a little bit. Be willing to broaden out. Yes, you may feel like, oh my God, that's a lot of emotions, but it's worth taking the time to do this. So take the time, go through each emotion. Where did it come from? Why did it happen? Why do you feel that way? Okay. Then decide what is and isn't your responsibility to that situation that created the emotion or the reaction. And forgive yourself. Now that's a lesson. Check the box and move on.